Howdy folks, Jabbapop here. Glad to be back on the silver screen for your enjoyment. I've been busy. My time has been filled by a Brazilian supermodel, but we broke off after I caught her cheating on me. But my pain, your joy, because now you get to see more pizza videos. You've seen me bake it frozen from the store. You've seen me start off on a pre-made crust, but why not go to the primeval soup, so to speak, and do it, roll the dough fresh. And that's what we're going to do today. Alright, first things first, we gotta mix the yeast with water. Yeast is a beast. Typically the water's gotta be warm. It helps those little critters to get to, developing and building up into the life forms they were meant to be. And I like to use a little Gladware thing, and it says in here in this book to do 1 1/3 cups warm water. Alright, it's going to be 103 degrees, I think it says 105 to 115 degrees. Get the hot water coming out. Once it starts burning my hand, then I know that's good. One third. And 1. Alright, so this recipe calls for 1 1/4 teaspoons. Don't confuse your tablespoons with your teaspoons. TBS is tablespoons. You'd have a yeast going wild if you tried a tablespoon. So a teaspoon? I like to spread it evenly so that it's not clumped. Now these are like life forms, living organisms, which help make your pizza. 1 1/4. Here's the 1/4 teaspoon. Alright. It's a nice film. Each one of them is a creature, and yet there's a whole film of them. So it's like the one in the many. Can you see the forest for the trees? 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Now this is what gets them going. They make pizza for us, but this sugar is for them, because with it they eat, breed, and grow. And I like to spread it evenly so everyone gets a bite. Sometimes it's hard to, but I'm sure the weaker yeast will perish and the strong ones will eat them and grow. But it's magic, this part, and just watch as things happen. Life processes before your very eyes. This is what goes into making pizza. Alright, we'll set that yeast aside for the moment. We've got to get the flour in our mixer bowl. 3 cups to start. During the process we do need to add more while it's spinning, but it's anywhere total from 3 1/2 to 3 3/4. I know that's a little bit confusing, but part of baking is that level of not knowing how it's going to go until you actually do it. And then you understand, recipes are just little numbers on a page with ingredients, but the actual process, that's where the joy comes in. So, and everything starts to make sense when the joy comes in. So there, salt and olive oil. Boy, 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm walking around 1 teaspoon of salt, tiny little peck of salt. I guess that gives it its gumption, though. Sprinkle a pinch. And you set the tongue to town. That actually is probably too much salt. I'll pour some of this down the sink. Okay, and then 2 tablespoons of oil. So you got your salty sailor and your olive oil. Because Popeye, that's a match made in Popeye cartoon heaven. It's 2 tablespoons of salt. 1, 2. Olive oil is good stuff. Extra virgin. It really gives it that Italiano flavor. because the Italians like it olive oil. That's where olive oil comes from. Alright. So we gotta get this puppy in. The plug. And good old topper. Flour, because you want. Alright, so this is the first rise. We sprinkle some flour on the surface so it doesn't stick, and then we get. It's really gloopy at this point, so like I said, you gotta give it time to work its magic. Now that I'm thinking, I think I forgot to wash my hands first, so if anyone asks, yes, there isn't a special ingredient. No, there's not. There's not a disgusting special ingredient. There's a good special ingredient. It's called love and hygiene, because I'm a very clean person. And love because I love my pizza. And so you see, it is very inconsistent at this point. There's a lot of like weirdness to it, but that's okay. You have to understand. If it's sticky, that's good, because that means it's got enough water in it. What I like to do also is just kind of, just like that, just to kind of, so it doesn't stick as much. You're not kneading it at this point. You're just trying to get it into a ball. All right, so it's in a ball, and you cover it with a, cover your ball with a bowl. I'm trailing flour around the kitchen, folks. Bear with me. I like this bowl. It's big enough for a man, but made for a woman. There you go. And you just get that going for 10 minutes too. Is that? Oh crap! Yeah, I already messed up. Yeast was only supposed to ferment for 5 minutes. So this is going to be an extra yeasty pizza because it had 2. So we'll just wait and you'll see. All right, folks. I've used that 10 minutes to get those fingers cleaned because you don't want to leave them to gather and to congeal with the dough. So I used the 10 minutes for first rise to clean and get it out because it cakes on. It cakes on like a dip. So let's look at the ball. Look at that. Look at that clumper. Look at that clumper there. Oh, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. Okie dokie, and in case anyone doubts, look, I'm gonna wash my hands for you. See? What did I tell you? Immaculate to the last. Alright, so this stage is called kneading. We all have kneads, but some of us have them with our hands. It's still very sticky. What you like to do if it's too sticky for you, you sprinkle some more flour. It's like the cure-all for cooking with dough. We're just going to kind of fold it in on itself a bunch of times until we get the idea that it's nice, embouché, as they say. Alright, don't you see me pound this baby in. You don't be shy with it either. You want to try and get it as mashed along as you can. And this is fun. I know a lot of people don't have hands, so they have to enjoy this kind of activity vicariously. Right. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Come to Papa. That's what I say because I'm Jabbapop. Also, this pizza's like my child. And I'm gonna sure on eat it like some Greek god of the yore. The one Kronos who ate his kids, the Titan. It's a little fun fact for you. The reason I'm not doing this on the table is because I don't want it to stick. And I think I've added more already. So you can use the and, why not? It's such a pain to get out of just a little bit. The counter. And then what we want to do is roll this into a nice ball. That's bally enough. It doesn't have to be like a soccer ball or a football in Europe. And we want to get some oil in this bowl. Because we're going to let the dough rise inside of the bowl. Airtight container. Not exposed to sunlight or moonlight. So you want to so it doesn't stick. You want to just spread it around, drop it in. Roll it a little bit. I probably don't even have to put this oil in here because I've used it many times. Like it's got a permanent glaze of oil. That's why I like this bowl, nice and big. and it can be used for many things. Alright, so we're going to set that in the bowl. We're just going to let it rise for about an hour. Alright, poop faces, now the fun starts. Whoa Nelly, look at that. It's all bloated and blown up. How did that happen? That's the miracle of life. We're going to do is we're going to pound it down a little bit. Spread some cornmeal. Oh, it doesn't stick. Alright, what we'll do is get it in a ball. When we start to spin it, best to not get your nails up in the grill. Of this, not good at. Bear with me, folks. This is like you always make sure too on the pizza slider you can slide it. Pizza work. What else is there in life? Next comes the mozzarella cheese. Dropping a sheet of cheese. This old prospector says, now some, oh crap, these pepperonis are like freezer burns. Look at that, how did that happen? You know, so part of my stuff gets frozen. Part of it in which the freezer, pockets where the freezer kind of infiltrates the fridge. Especially this kind, because it looks like it's already starting to rot. You can see that the crap. So this oven here is set to 500 degrees, and that should be good enough for any perish from this earth, with liberty or death. I'd say that death brings the liberty. The death of those amoebas brings it to its greater, call in life. Maybe it'll be reincarnated as, I don't know, jalapenos I was sticking on. Look at that there. Ain't you never seen a more beautiful... Let's get this puppy out of the fire and into... A little bit burnt. That's because of the raging Cajun within me, though. You like that hotness, the heat. There's a little suspicious pig ears. Bon appetit. Let's dig in. Svedka, going out with a busty Swedish woman, which is you. You're my dinner date tonight. Flat enough to be just right. Hot and spicy, nice.